Chapter 78, The Bill. The young man quickly cleared the table, leaving behind Azer's half-full cup of coffee. As he was leaving, Azer asked, "Could you bring us the bill, please?" The young fellow looked to the manager behind the counter, who informed Azer, "You're our special guests. The bill will be sent to the Pendulum." At that moment, Azer noticed ripples forming on the surface of the coffee in his cup. Positioned with his back to the entrance, he deliberately avoided turning around and instead glanced at the wall mirror. However, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The vibrations in the ground could have been caused by a passing truck or some other heavy vehicle, unrelated to their situation. Taking a sip from his coffee, he once again checked the mirror. Lowering himself slightly, he reached into his bag to ensure the mobile phone's battery was disconnected. As he took another sip of coffee, a familiar voice suddenly reached his ears from behind, asking the manager, "Have you seen this girl?" A glance from the corner of his eye confirmed his suspicion. It was the Blue Devil, confronting the manager with a picture on her phone. He assumed he was talking to the jealous wife of one of the swinger club's regulars. He cast a disinterested glance at the picture and delivered the usual reply, "No, I haven't seen her before." The Blue Devil's gaze shifted towards Azer, who was now facing away from her, projecting the image of a solitary man seated alone with his coffee at a table in an almost deserted restaurant. Convinced, the Blue Devil turned and departed. Just then, Topaz emerged from the bathroom doorway. Azer seized his leather bag, hurried over to her, and urgently said, "Quick, let's go. I just spotted the Blue Devil. She was asking about you." With the precise location details at hand, they were convinced that the Blue Devil would give up her pursuit and lay in wait for them outside. Responding to Azer, Topaz exclaimed, "We need to exit through the swinger club's door." Rushing through a narrow corridor, they reached the back door. Topaz had been through that door before and entered without hesitation. As Azer stepped inside, he paused briefly. The room was filled with people, resembling an ordinary pub except for the fact that everybody was naked. Before anyone noticed them, Topaz and Azer made their way toward the main entrance. However, their progress was abruptly halted when a military SUV crashed through the door, plowing into the club. Seated behind the wheel was the Blue Devil, who had already spotted two clothed figures amidst the naked crowd. She reached for her machine gun, intending to step out, but the door was obstructed by rubble. Topaz turned to Azer and urgently shouted, "Get back." Followed by the panicked and screaming naked guests, they returned to the restaurant. The manager looked at the flow of naked people running past the counter towards the exit. Unaffected leaned back and said, "I knew that a jealous wife or husband someday was going to attack the place." On the street, Topaz looked at Azer and said, "We need a car to get away from here. The way the Blue Devil is chasing us, she must be a contract killer." Azer looked at the cars that were parked along the street and said, "The members of the swinger club have good taste with all these Mercedes and Porsches here." Topaz responded, "Just forget it. It's not easy to break into these cars." Putting the battery back into his cell phone, Azer said, "I'm not so sure about that. All these cars are equipped with an electronic lock. Let's see if this app from the Chaos Republic can do the magic." Topaz said in a sarcastic tone, "I thought you were afraid of being detected through your phone." Azer responded, "We are already detected.